started. Call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Sewell,
Present.
Lawson.
Here.
Munns,
Present.
Wyatt.
Here.
Reister is absent and it is excused.
Or once in as well.
All right, motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Move on to the consent agenda. Does anybody have anything they want removed or question or anything about? Now look for a motion. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports and recommendations. First is the personnel meeting from January 24th. We discussed the fiscal 2023 budget, and Chrissy presented the numbers. And as she said, that many of them are the same in the past. The couple of big increases, the police department increased their reserve for purchasing a new vehicle and getting into, what is it, a 5-year rotation, Kate?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
4 year. 4 year.
4-year, okay. And then also a change in the rec department, because they'd like to start the process of hiring a rec director. So that's why their biggest expenses are. No big projects for water and sewer. Then we also looked at the 5-year plan, and that kind of included a 3% increase every year, and the police department is at a 5% increase each year. We talked about mayor and council wages, and we're going to look into seeing to get the mayor's salary back up to $1,000 a month and increase the council meetings to $50 a month. And this would go into effect the next election. It wouldn't go for the next election and term cycle. And so we recommended then the fiscal 2023 budget to city council. And that was all that we had. All right, public safety
I have
committee.
a quick question about that.
Yeah.
Hey Chrissy, and you may know this or not, but it's just something I thought I had heard at one time about the raise in council pay, is you can't vote for your own raise, it would have to be until the next person goes in, maybe?
Yeah, like when the next, if the next
So
mayor.
like, well, no, yeah, the next mayor, but like ours, since we just were elected, we couldn't raise it at term and have it affect us, it would have to go to 4 years.
Is that right, Chris?
Yeah, I think they just changed the law.
Yeah.
Recording
in progress.
So, yeah, that's something that we'll have to look at.
Okay, just to make sure that somebody's,
Okay.
I assumed you were aware of that, but yeah, like I can't vote until I get reelected again, I can't change my own wages
Well, which is
until I'm
gonna be
reelected
kind of
again.
hard to do when we're,
in the middle, it doesn't matter, yeah,
because not everybody goes off at the same
not
time.
everybody make the same pay.
Okay.
I know, interesting, right?
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, I just read that not that long ago, I think it
Okay.
changed, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it went into effect, like July 1 of 2021 or something like that.
Something like that,
So it's
yeah.
something we'll look at.
Okay, just
Okay.
making sure you're aware that there's something in there.
Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
Public safety meeting.
We have the public safety meeting Thursday, January 27th. First item that discussed was parking on 7th Street. So if anybody doesn't know, 7th Street runs behind the fire station. We've had multiple complaints now that there are cars that park on both sides with one of the businesses that's located on 7th Street. And then other people don't have access. Also, since there's no curb and gutter on that street, cars tend to get into lawns that are owned by certain businesses, which then cause some damage and things like that. There haven't been any plowing issues, but there have been multiple complaints. So what we discussed was, making, since it is a narrow road, kind of like what Waters Road was, as a first step, getting, or looking at just one side of the street parking only. So there would be no parking on the south side of the street, parking only on the north side. And there is, an item to set a public hearing for that tonight for the next council agenda, so I'm sure there will be more of that to come. So snow ordinance was discussed, about cars that they, there's already no cars obviously in the street, but it also applies to alleys. So they were gonna start checking up on those alleys, cause, people, if they park alongside the alley, the snow comes in or goes into one or the other lawns as well, so they were gonna keep an eye on that. We had a question from someone, a citizen, about current golf cart rules, and asking if we could change the rules to 14 with a learner's permit to be able to ride a golf cart on the city streets independently. Kind of back and forth with that. The police chief was really not in favor just because they're less safe than cars. You can't ride a car on your own until you're 16 anyway. And full licenses are not graduated. Kids are graduated into full licenses not until they're 18 now. So at this point, we were going to leave the restrictions as they were. You do have to be 18 to drive a golf cart on the city street at this point with a valid license. So there was no change made to that at all. And then we also went through the ordinance, or the budget that was proposed for '23. There were some increases, again, wages we understood, as well as that vehicle that we're trying to get on that 4-year rotation. So there would basically be a new vehicle traded in, hopefully for more value if we trade them in sooner, so that we can trade one in each year, get the value of that traded back to keep our expenses down, but keep our force in with the newer vehicles and not have to purchase 2 or 3 in a year, as we've done in the past previously. So hopefully that will help with them. We did talk about new officers, how things are going with training, things like that, so just some updates on that. Nothing real exciting to go with that, and we adjourned at 4:42.
Is there any update on the new vehicles?
They are both in production, I heard.
Okay,
I understood, the last I had heard from Danny, that they still think they'll get the Explorer before the truck,
okay,
but the Explorer should be here soon.
okay.
So, I asked about any problems that they had with the other vehicle, and they said they haven't had any other problems with the other vehicle, so, we've kind of gotten by a little bit, lucky with that, or, knock on wood that they can use, that one's being used less than the other ones. It's the part-time people, which is kind of what we've talked about is, let's not spend it if we don't have to. So yeah, they should be here.
Any other questions for Kate? Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move into the public hearings. Number 1, public hearing on proposed development agreement with Jennifer and Kurt Bavers. Have we had any written
No.
comments?
Nope.
Okay, any verbal? Okay, I'll go ahead and
Are you
close.
here for that, Greg?
I'm just here for the public comment section.
All right,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
do it after the public hearings.
Yeah, we'll do one more public hearing and then we'll go back to
I am
citizen.
good with whatever you're doing.
Okay. All right, number 2, public hearing regarding the fiscal '23 maximum property tax dollars for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023. Any written
No.
comments? Okay, verbal? We'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And I apologize, we'll go back then to the citizens' requests and oral presentations.
There we go. Can you state your name for the camera and your address, please?
Oh, I can, you bet. Greg Strayer, 6515 Waters Road, which is west of town. And I'm just here to follow up on a project we got involved with within the last year that you've already mentioned. The changes to Waters Road as far as policy on parking and so forth, super good change. I mean, it's just amazing how much safer that street feels to just drive down there. Yeah, and if George was here tonight, he made the suggestion that a stripe be put down the road. I'll have to be honest, when he made that suggestion, I thought, not sure if we need that. that has made a big help as well,
Okay.
because when you're headed west around the blind curve, you don't seem to have to worry about somebody coming into your lane, coming at you at the blind curve anymore.
Testing
So-
to drift.
Yeah, so the parking has been a huge improvement. You don't have to meet traffic at the top of a hill with only one lane to use, so that's super. So a couple of the issues of the three that I think were involved have been addressed, and I think it's been successful. The remaining one is the speed limits not being abided by. Seems to be much worse if you're headed toward town, which you'd expect, because they're coming off of a higher speed limit. Going west or out of town, I don't see much the issue. Having traveled 50,000 miles a year for way too many years in a job, I kind of get have developed some, I guess, opinions on what works to slow people down and what doesn't. A patrol car sitting beside the road is very effective.
And, yeah, we can easily, you know, make the chief aware and maybe do
Yeah, and
a
I
little
think he is
extra.
aware, but I think it's a manpower thing. I mean, he can't, it's not the most heavily traveled road in the county, obviously, so devoting manpower to one road. Just a suggestion of something I've observed that also works. An illuminated traffic sign that actually indicates approaching speed. I imagine, I have a clue what it costs.
We have one,
We have a trailer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we have a
Yep.
speed trailer.
if that could be used on a regular basis out there, I think it might help. What I was gonna suggest is a, permanent installed one, because I know some cities have used that,
Yeah.
but that might be cost prohibitive, I don't know. But anyway, I know when I come into town from the west, when I slow down for the speed limit, if there's somebody behind me, they ride my bumper all the way to the stop sign. It's just the way it is.
Mhm.
But, and I understand the concerns of the people that live within the city limits, that speed limit does need to be abided by to be safe.
Problem with the trailer out there is gonna be the same that we have on Ranchero, that there's no
yeah,
there's no area for us to put it in.
Right.
right.
But I can absolutely bring that to our public safety committee and people to let them know that we've had,
Yeah, it
instances
would
out
probably
there.
either need to be parked on a private
Yep.
property or in the county road ditch, maybe just west of town, then you're in the floodplain.
Well, and then it's not where people are speeding anyway.
Yeah, well.
You know what I mean? I mean, it is, but not as
Yeah, if it
much.
was just west of the current speed indicating sign,
Sure.
it might help, and I think that is probably really close to being on the county.
Okay.
And there is an area in there where the road ditch is almost non-existent,
Right.
it's silted in,
Right.
so there might be a spot to park it there. If the city did elect to put something there permanently, and I am talking about a speed indicating sign, I'd be willing to put my money where my mouth is and say, hey, I'll kick in $300 toward it. So,
I'll take it to our police chief,
okay.
and we'll do some research and get back with you. I know we've got your contact information here,
Yeah.
email and stuff,
Yeah.
so Greg, I'll talk to Danny about it, Chief Banks about it, and see if we can even price out how much they are. I mean, I
Yeah.
have no idea, I don't know if you guys have any
Well-
idea how much those things cost either, so.
I
I
can't
know what
remember
you're talking
when-
about, with the solar thing on top of it, so that it keeps it going all the time, and,
Right,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know whether $300 would even buy the post amount on.
No idea.
But, because every night thing nowadays is crazy. But,
Yeah.
I've always been a believer in putting your money where your mouth is, so
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
that's an offer.
okay,
Um,
it's on camera, so
Other
now
than
we know.
that, I'm just really pleased that you guys took action and that the city crews did the work and got it done. And I
We
think-
appreciate that.
I think it's a success, so, thank you.
Thanks for coming back and telling us that, usually we only hear the bad stuff, not the good stuff, so.
Well, I've always believed that if you ask for something and somebody goes along with your
Right.
idea and it works, somebody deserves a compliment.
Well, we also appreciate the input of the neighbors and the residents coming to us to explain what they wanted too, so that we can make
Sure.
sure it's
Yeah.
the best for everybody too, so,
Yeah, well, safety's a big thing.
yeah, absolutely,
The
so,
older you get, the more you realize.
that's right.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Greg.
thank you.
We'll move into general government. The Hudson City Council maintains the right to waive the first and second readings of the ordinances presented and may pass the third and final reading of the same ordinance within the same council meeting. A, discussion action to approve the second reading of ordinance 863, an ordinance providing for the division of taxes levied on taxable property in the Hudson Dean Lee subdivision urban renewal area pursuant to section 403.19 of the Code of Iowa. Do I have a motion?
So
So moved. Second.
One of the two of us.
Flip a coin.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
There's only, oh, there's, what, 5? I was gonna say, if there's only 2, we could just each take one, but,
All right, roll call.
Lawson,
Aye.
Wyatt,
aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Sewell.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay. Item D, discussion action to approve resolution 2890, a resolution approving development agreement with Jennifer and Kurt Favors authorizing annual appropriation tax increment payments and pledging certain tax increment revenue to the payment of the agreement, and this was for $250,000 over 10 years.
Portion of that.
Right.
Less low
Less
to moderate.
because, right.
Less low to moderate
moderate
income setback.
Yes,
I would make that motion to approve.
I will second.
okay. Any other discussion? All right, roll call.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Sewell.
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Motion carries
Did
4-0.
you forget his name?
She
No.
loves calling me that. I don't know why.
Item C,
Keeping
discussion,
you on your toes.
discussion action, to approve resolution 2891, a resolution for approval of the fiscal 20-year maximum property tax dollars, and that was for $1,037,682. Chrissy, do you have anything you wanna add to that?
No, I don't. Well, I guess the only thing is that, so we grew 3%, and with the legislation that was passed a couple of years ago, anything over a growth of 2%, you have to have a supermajority approve it, so.
Okay,
And a supermajority is,
4 out
Four
of the
of
5.
okay,
Do I have a motion then?
so moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Sewell,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Discussion action to approve resolution 2892, a resolution setting public hearing for the annual budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023, and that will be held on February 28th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call then, please.
Lawson,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item E, discussion action to approve resolution 2893, a resolution accepting surplus transferred. And this is in the amount of $300,000 from HMEU that will be held, kind of like in, escrow or something, contingent, it's a contingency fund, for 3 years in case there's some additional expenses with the dissolution.
So moved.
Second.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So what happens at the end of that time if that money hasn't been used for that reason?
It's the cities.
It comes to the city.
Goes into general fund.
Okay. Good.
Roll call?
Wyatt.
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Sewell.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay. Item F, discussion action to approve resolution 2894, a resolution setting a public hearing to amend section 69.15 of the City of Hudson Code of Ordinances. Again, this will be a public hearing on February 28th, and this is for the no parking on one side of 7th Street.
Correct. So moved.
Second?
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Sewell,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, there are 11 informational items in the packet. Reminder items, regularly scheduled meetings held at council chambers except for electric board and library board. Public Works Committee, February 16th at 7 a.m. Public Safety Committee, February 24th at 4 p.m. Personnel Admin Finance Committee meeting, February 28th. At 4:45, Mayor's Task Force Committee meeting, March 15th at 5 PM. Next council meetings are Monday, February 28th at 6 PM, and Monday, March 14th at 6 PM. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I took a piece of ice, but second.
All those in favor, signify by
Choke on
saying
it.
aye.
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 Right?
Hi Lori, bye Lori. Bye Chrissy, go Hawks.